Hi guys, it's Rick from Rick's Bricks, here with another video in my vlog series where I give some tips and advice to other BrickLink sellers from over 17 years of selling on both BrickLink and Brick Owl. So it's been a while since I made a video. Was over in Europe on vacation for several weeks and kind of just get back and getting in the swing of things. But so I think today I'd like to show you how I do some miscellaneous inventory adjustments, mainly in this case cleaning up after parting out several groups of sets. And I think if you saw my last video on parting out, what I do is when I'm putting away cups full of parts, and I come to something where it no longer fits in the inventory location that it was assigned to, I just set the cup on top of the shelf and right above the row in which it would normally be put away. And that way, as I'm filling orders, for some reason, if I don't find the right quantity, I don't find it in that, I know to look up, and I can still pretty easily fill orders with them. However, it's not as ideal as having everything in its place, but it's just something that happens over time as you add more inventory. In my case, I only part out new sets, and so every once in a while, I come through and I clean that all up, and I either find that there's room now in the drawer that it was originally assigned to after filling some orders, but more likely I have to find a new inventory location for it. So before I started today, I went around and found several drawers throughout my warehouse here, my store, where I either have nothing stored in it at this time. It's either was assigned to something and we've totally sold out and haven't gotten any in a while, or it's been moved somewhere else. More likely that it's been sold out. I do have, I think I explained in one of my first videos on the tour, I do have some room for expansion. I just put up these two new rows of containers here. I've started to fill up a few on this first shelf, but got several yet to fill. I think I mentioned when I did my store tour, I finally ordered some more of these Sterilite 3-drawer cabinets now to fill in here. However, I'm going to have to kind of relabel everything so that it flows before I can use these. But I did find several that are empty or not highly utilized. Same thing with several of these middle-sized drawers in this aisle that I'll be using to kind of move things around. The first thing is I'm sure you're aware that I only use the BrickSeller software to maintain my inventory and basically manage my store. And so I'm going to be using a lot of the search and update features that are on the inventory tab, the main inventory tab within BrickSeller. And if we haven't looked at this in detail before, basically you start off by searching for an item. You put in the condition. It'll remember the condition. It'll remember the last item type that you selected. After that, you can search by the remarks, which is where I put all my inventory location data, which most sellers do. You can also narrow it by category, search by a specific item number, or even by the entire description or partial description, and then you can tell it if you want the filter to be applied to, or the way the filter criteria is applied is by searching by something that begins with what you've entered, or you have the choice of saying I need to have an exact match, and some things like inventory locations, exact match, and you could actually put in less than the I could search for all aisle 5, just put 05 in instead of the entire 6 characters that I use, which, if you recall, is my inventory locations are 2 digits for the aisle. So this is aisle 5 up until about the end of the gray cabinets. Then the next 2 letters are the column that it's in. So this is the AU column, and then the next last 2 digits are the row, and starting from 01 at the bottom up till however high I want to get it. I just will never go lower than that because being old, I don't want to bend over very much. But anyway, that's the other thing you can do and say, it contains. So like I said, you can search by the filter type of contains, but that would be something you'd usually only use if you're searching by part of the description of an item that you're looking for. But for the most part, I leave it on begins with or exact, and I very seldom need to search for something like that, because either I'm putting away things that I'm parting out, in which case I showed you how that works, and it already knows everything that's in the set, so it walks through that. For the most part, when I'm searching for something, I usually search by the remarks field with the inventory location code. So another way to search for items using BrickSeller is using the newly integrated BrickIgnite feature. If you haven't used BrickIgnite or haven't heard of it, it's pretty slick. The way it works is, at least the way I've integrated with BrickSeller, and I think it's pretty much the same way from the website, is you basically put a part underneath the camera, either a webcam or external camera hooked to your computer, and it'll search, actually do a object recognition search and show you a list of parts that are as close to the matching as it can determine. So the way you do that in BrickSeller is to click on the BrickIgnite tab, and then click the Open Camera button. And in my case, it's facing down on a piece of cardboard here. So let's. It went off. Let's see why. Okay. Don't know why that was, but I'm going to search for this little star part here, put it where the camera can see it, and then click the BrickIgnite button, and it should return a list of things that, in this case, it found it, but it's at the bottom of the list, and it's the list is sorted in the most clear return based on confidence level that comes back from the API, but it found it in this case. Sometimes you do have to try it several times, reposition it, get it close to the camera or something, maybe to find the part. I haven't used it a lot on things like minifig torsos and stuff like that with different patterns, may be a lot more difficult. But for just parts with unique shapes and so forth, it's been pretty solid. But once it's found in BrickSeller, you just click on it, and it's as if you searched on that item, and it'll take you right to the, in this case, the Detail tab, because there was only one item that we actually searched on. If we were to search using the search criteria of, say, an inventory location, you have more than one items in there, it would actually stop at the List tab, and you'd have to select the item. But in this case, there's only one item, so it take you right to the Detail tab. So that's it on how you use BrickSeller to search for items with in your inventory. So let's get started doing what we need to do today, and which is to start moving some of these cups of parts to new inventory locations, as they no longer fit in the inventory location that they were originally assigned. So we'll start with the first one here. This white 6x6 tile. It looks like I got a bunch of them from a recent part out, and I believe that they would have gone into this drawer here, 04 AC02. So let's search for that. 04 AC02 and search. And so, and again, in this case, we searched we searched for an inventory location. If there would have been more than one item stored there, it would have shown up or showed us the list first, and we had to choose it, but it took us directly to the detail tab because there was only one item in the list. And right at the top, you see the white. The inventory detail tab within BrickSeller will always show you the image, the condition, the color name, and the quantity as it most recently found on BrickLink, and then by default it shows you a column where you can enter in the plus minus quantity that you would want to update. You never want to enter the specific quantity or the final quantity. You want to let the software determine that based on at the immediate point in time where it goes to make the update. it'll find the quantity and basically adjust it from there. So let's say I wanted to update one of these quantities to increase it by 10. I would just enter 10. If I wanted to decrease it, I would enter in a minus 10. You have to enter in a minus sign, and on the positive side, you don't need to enter in a plus sign, even though you can. It's just the assumption if you don't put, because this would be the normal update. And the other reason why it doesn't show any other column that you can enter, for instance, the price or the remarks, is because if you're maybe a used seller, I can't come into that you can simply use your tab key and tab one after another, entering the quantity adjustment amount on each one. But in this case, we want to change where this the white for this particular item is stored. So we need to update the remarks. So I need to click on show remarks, and then the remarks column appears, and as you can see, everything for this part initially has been stored in one inventory location. So now we have to decide, do we want to move everything that's in this drawer to another inventory location, or it's possible we can move just part of it, and that's what I'm going to do because the white here is the largest quantity by far. And there's still room in this drawer for quantity for other parts. We're just going to move the white ones. So I'm going to take these white ones, and because they're so large, it will fit in a medium. I'm going to have to go all the way to the larger bins, and we'll go right here to this AM or 09 AM 11. Put these in here, and then all we have to do next is update that inventory location in the remarks column. So 09 AM 11, and scroll down until we have the save button. Click that, and now it's going to update just the remarks data for that lot on BrickLink and Brick Owl. Because in my case I sell on both platforms, and no need to run BL master on and master off in BrickSync or anything like that. It just knows to make the update once you've integrated you've told BrickSeller that you want to integrate with Brick Owl. It just knows to update both websites using both APIs. So just for fun, let's take a look at this 04 AC02 inventory location, and we can see that the white is now no longer in the list. And I know that because BrickSeller is designed to show you the top 20 or 30, I forget how many, colors in a specific order all the time, so you can get used to finding that color in the list. All the other less used colors are simply sorted after that I think by color name. So we know that white is no longer in this list, but just for fun, let's go to that inventory location we moved it to. And in this case, you can see now that it stopped after this searched at the list screen, because there's more than one part in that location. And so I need to tell it which one I want to see the detail for. So we click on the tile part, and there's the inventory quantity updated. So that's it. We will put this one back in here, and I think that's all I wanted to show you today. I think on the next video I will show you all the Brick Owl integration features with BrickSeller, and kind of how seamlessly it works for pulling your orders, maintaining your inventory on both platforms, including syncing your inventory as you get orders in for each platform, which is something that's just you get automatically with BrickSeller. You don't need to use something like BrickSync or BrickFreedom. If you have any questions or comments, please post them. I will try to answer them as soon as I can, either on the chat there or in the next video. All right? Thanks for watching.